evening and welcome back to day 4 of Holy Week. I know if you guys just seen me go live, yes, I did go live and I actually went through the whole lesson on tonight, but me doing 2 or 3 things at one time, I deleted the video, so I had to come back on. But it is a-okay. So let's do a little summary on what we learned on Tuesday. So on Tuesday of Holy Week, Jesus publicly addresses the Pharisees, religious leaders who look righteous on the outside but were corrupted on the inside. He calls out their double standards and spiritual pride, reminding his followers that true greatness comes from humility and sincere obedience. Jesus wasn't afraid to speak hard truths, but he always did so with love and purpose. This moment challenged us to look on the inside of our own selves and ask, are we living out what we believe or just performing for others? He calls us to be authentic and not perfect, to humility, not recognition, and to truth and not appearance. So on tonight, as we dive deep in on day 4, once again, I do apologize. I deleted my first live recording, so I had to come back and do it again. And so we are on the betrayal in the shadows, and it is Wednesday, day 4, and our scripture will be coming from Matthew 26, 14 through 16. Still, he chose the cross. In our focus, Judas agrees to betray Jesus, and might empower her thought. Even in the betrayal, Jesus still chose the cross for you. You are chosen and redeemed. So let's just go ahead and look at Matthew 26, verses 14 through 16. And it reads, Then one of the 12, the one called Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and asked, What are you willing to give me if I deliver him over to you? So they counted out 30 pieces of silver. From then on, Judas watched for an opportunity to hand him over. And that was Matthew 26, 14 through 16. Wednesday may feel quiet in the Gospels, but in the shadows, betrayal is taking root. Today we reflect on the quiet decisions that can shape destiny. We will look at Judas, not to point fingers, but to pause and ask, where might I be drifting to? And our discussion points on tonight will be Judas' motivation and compromise. Judas did not start out as a traitor. He walked with Jesus, but somewhere along the way, disappointment, greed, and unmet expectations opened the door. It opened the door to compromise. It opened the door. Sometimes betrayal begins as just a little compromise. Judas' motives. Judas didn't begin his journey as a traitor. He was one of the 12, handpicked by Jesus. He witnessed miracles, heard the truth straight from the mouth of the Savior, and he shared in ministry alongside with the others. But somewhere along the way, something shifted. Maybe it was disappointment. Maybe Jesus didn't meet his expectations as a political leader. Maybe it was greed. He had already been stealing from the money bag. If you read John 12 and 6, it tells us. So let's read it. John 12 and 6. He did not say this because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief, a keeper of the money bag. He used to help himself into what was put into it. So let's go up a few verses. Let's start at 4. But one of his disciples, Judas, who was later to betray him, objected. Why wasn't this perfume sold and the money given to the poor? It was worth a year's wages. He did not say this because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief, a keeper of the money bag he used to help himself to what was put in it. So this is Judas. So John 12:6 already told us he was stealing already. So maybe it was bitterness or pride, a slow creeping resentment over time. Whatever it was, Judas didn't betray Jesus overnight. Sometimes betrayal starts small. A thought unchecked, a motive unchallenged, and before long, 30 pieces of silver replaced the savor's worth in his heart. See, you have a motive, and then your motivations change. And then, just like somebody giving 30 pieces of silver to turn you in. Like, you're supposed to be my friend. You've been walking with me through my whole journey. And you sell me out for 30 silver coins? And you're probably looking like, really? But let's find out what Jesus did and how he still treated Judas. So, the pain of betrayal Jesus experienced. Jesus knew what Judas would do, and yet he still loved him, washed his feet, broke bread with him. Have you ever loved someone who hurt you? Jesus understands your pain. So as we look at this, Jesus didn't just know what Judas would betray. Mm, Jesus didn't just know Judas would betray him. He washed his feet. He offered him a seat at the table. He broke bread with him the very night he made the deal to sell him out. This wasn't just betrayal. It was an intimate betrayal. And yet, Jesus loved Judas, served him, and called him friend. If you ever been hurt by someone you trusted, if you ever loved someone who walked away, Jesus understands. He doesn't just sympathize, he empathizes. His heart broke too. Are you carrying betrayal or heartbreak? What would it look like to let Jesus hold your pain and heal what others have broken? Where might we drift? Betrayal doesn't always look like silver coins. It can be small, daily moments where we choose fear over faith, silence over truth, or approval over obedience. Are there areas in our hearts or in your heart where you compromise is slowly creeping in. Betrayal doesn't always come in the form of silver coins or dramatic exits. Sometimes it looks like choosing comfort over conviction. It's the moments we ignore his whisper because it feels too costly to obey. It's when fear replaces faith or people's opinions become louder than God's voice. Drift doesn't happen all at once. We start to justify the silence. We start to justify the tolerant disobedience and to tolerate disobedience. We start to justify a redefined our calling or redefine our calling to fit what's easier. Betrayal begins in the heart before it is ever acted out. Where might you be drifting? What small steps of surrender can bring your heart back in alignment with God today? And before I do my final encouragement and reflection questions, like I said, I did record this earlier, but me doing two or three things at one time, I deleted it. But you do have the reflection questions in the post section of the YouTube channel that you can always download or print out or just have them there that you can answer the questions on your own time. So, Judas isn't just a figure in history, he's a mirror. He walked with Jesus, witnessed miracles, shared meals, and was trusted with responsibility. Yet in the end, he betrayed the very one who loved him most. And the truth is, many of us have our Judas in our lives, or we've battled being one ourselves. How can you identify the Judas in your life? The Judas in your life may not hand you over for silver, but they might smile in public and tear you down in private. Walk closely, yet carry hidden resentment. Abandon you when the journey gets hard. Applaud, applaud your calling, but quietly plot your collapse. Judas was close, not obvious. That's what made the betrayal sting even harder. But guess what? Jesus didn't panic. He didn't call Judas out publicly. He didn't fight him. He washed his feet. So my question to you, choose one of the four. Maybe it was someone who was smiling in your face and tearing you down in private. Maybe it was someone walking closely with you but had a hidden resentment for you and you trying to figure out why they don't like you all of a sudden. It could be what the calling is on your life that they're upset with about. Abandon you when the journey gets hard. Don't leave me. This is where I need my friends and family the most. This is where I need my spiritual mother, father, sisters, brothers, my leaders of the church. This is where I need you most. Don't abandon me when it gets hard for me. This is when I need someone to pull on and I need to tug at to keep me going. Applaud your calling, but quietly plot your collapse. You ever had some people? Yay, I'm so proud of you. You doing awesome. It ain't gonna last long. It ain't gonna be like that. She gonna sit here and stop doing it. She not gonna keep up with it. And why guarantee you next year she ain't gonna still be doing the same thing? He ain't gonna still be doing the same thing. But you supposed to be in my corner. And see, the thing about it is, word of the mouth travels faster than anything. And guess what? Somebody might say something back to you. Oh, you know that you're supposed to be so-called friend, sister, your brother, or cousin, auntie, uncle. They was talking about you. But then they gonna add on some more stuff and everything. So who are the Judases in your life? Love doesn't always protect you from betrayal, but it helps you heal from it. Jesus teaches us to love even when we know we'll be wounded. Discernment is not the same as division. You can create boundaries with a Judas without coming bitter. Jesus didn't come bitter. He did not become bitter. He washed the man's feet. He washed Judas's feet. He wasn't bitter. Oh, come on, Judas. Come on. I'm still going to wash your feet. I already know what you're going to do to me. I already know what you're doing. So I'm just still going to wash your feet. I'm still going to show you love. And that's the same thing that we got to do to the Judases in our life. We got to wash their feet. We got to still love them. We got to still sit here and be the bigger person. Find your Judas and tell them, come on, let me wash your feet. Let me show you the same love and compassion that Jesus showed Judas. The same night. The same night. He washing Judas's feet. He washing the man's feet. And breaking bread with him and eating at the table. And still knew what Judas did. Still knew. Because he told him, Judas, whatever you have to do, do it quickly. Tell your Judases that in your life. Whatever you got to do, whatever you got to say it and do it quickly. Because guess what? Because of this week, I know the outcome. I know who holds my tomorrow. I know who went to the cross for me. You don't have to accept me. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like what I'm doing. It ain't for you. I do it all for the glory of God. That's who I do it for. You don't have to approve anything that I'm doing. But when it's God given, He approves it. So all the Judases in my life, God gave this to me, and I'm going to do it. You can create boundaries with your Judas without becoming bitter. Let God show you who's meant to go with you and who's not. Sometimes we get in situations. We want to bring everybody along with us. We want to be that supportive person, be that supportive friend, be there. But when God is calling you to go a little bit higher in your spiritual walk, when He's calling you to do things differently and to walk differently and to accept what He's bringing you into, the same people that you started out with may not be on the same level with you no more. They're not walking the same walk with you anymore. You may start out the same, but God's taking you higher. And He's saying, in this next season, in this next time, in this next spiritual walk, I need you totally focused just on you. Because I'm still working on you. There's some things and places I need to take you. It's not a bad thing. It's always a good thing. And if you stay right there and you compromise what God is doing, you're going to stay stuck and you're not going to grow. And you're going to wonder why things are not happening. They're not meant to go with you. If they accept that part, or even if they don't, you still move forward and you still do what God has called you to do. Because He's going to show you the Judas in their heart. Sometimes the Judas in your life is a reflection of compromise in your own heart. What are you compromising in your heart just to make people like you, just to make people feel comfortable? What are you compromising? We all have moments of betrayal. Times we choose approval over obedience, comfort over conviction. Am I trading truth for convenience or approval in any part of my life? What does loyalty to Christ really look like for me at work, at home, online? Sit with these reflection questions for a moment. God isn't looking for perfection. He's looking for your heart. Sometimes we just got to let it go and just let God deal with the Judases in our life. The Judas in your life doesn't have the final word. God does. Judas may help send Jesus to the cross, but it was through that betrayal that redemption came. Every betrayal couldn't stop the cross. Even denial couldn't delay the resurrection. Jesus chose you fully, aware of every failure, compromise, and mistake, and he still called you beloved. Let today be a turning point as we are on day 4. Come out of the shadows and back into his grace. The betrayal had a purpose. The purpose, Jesus going to the cross. Even your pain has a resurrection on the other side. I may be hurting. I may be down. I may be out. But I'm taking it all to the cross and I'm leaving it there. I'm taking it all and I'm letting it go. I'm getting back under his wing. I'm getting back to where he wants me to be. And on tonight, I leave you with this prayer. Jesus, today we sit the weight of betrayal, the kind you knew, the kind you felt, and the kind you forgave. Lord, just examine our hearts. Show us where we have compromised, where we have chosen convenience over conviction or silence over surrender. Forgive us for the times we've traded truth for comfort or approval. Everybody may not approve of what we do because we are walking with you. We are trusting in you. We are leaning on you. They may not understand who you are fully in our lives, but help us not to compromise. Help us to stay loyal when it's hard. Help us to follow you when the cost is high. Help us to trust you when betrayal breaks our heart. You chose the cross knowing every way we will fall short. And you still said, I am worth it. I'm worth you going to the cross. Thank you for choosing me in the shadows, for loving me through my weaknesses, and for never walking away from us. We belong to you and only you. May our hearts stay near and never drift afar. We thank you for this opportunity to be in your presence and to have you with us. Continue to be there for us, continue to walk with us. And this is my lesson 4 on the betrayal. The cross had to happen. Thank you so much for joining me on tonight. Once again, I am Demetria Green Gibbs, the founder and creator of Triple Talk Empower Women Voices podcast. And make sure that you share, make sure that you get the journal reflection notes out of the post so that you can have them and you can reflect back. And I'll meet you guys right back here at 7 o'clock on tomorrow night for day 5. I do apologize for me having to come on again, but thank you so much for coming back and listening to it again if you was not here the first time. But thank you once again. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Continue to pray for me, and I'll continue to pray for you. You guys have a good night.